Welcome to today's webinar presented by Supercoder.com. Supercoder.com is an online coding solution offering Part A and B coding reference tools, resources, and not more than 30 specialty coding and compliance newsletters from the Coding Institute in one site. I hope you enjoy this short session.
Where you are is a nice, beautiful summer day, not too hot, but just right. We'll see how it goes throughout the day. We're going to spend the next 60 minutes or so going over ICD-10 as it relates to musculoskeletal. Now, as you know, on slide number 4, we're still waiting to see if there's going to be a possible delay of this and give us another year. As of yesterday, it still has not been released. They were able to release the proposed fee schedule for 2013, but they haven't made a decision yet on this delay. And so you want to keep an eye on those issues to find out if there is a delay. They're saying if there is, it would just be a year. On slide 5, I've given you where you can go and you can look for it and find out if it's going to come out. As of May 17th, they closed the comment period, and so they should be posting it sometime after May 17th. It's already been a month, and they usually do it within 60 days after that they will give that information. So hopefully we'll know sooner rather than later. There was a lot of response saying that they did not want a delay and that they wanted to proceed with it to start in a year. That if there was a delay, it would be more expensive to delay it, so it'll be interesting to see what finally falls out. On slide number 6, we're going to get into some of the reasons why we're with ICD-10. ICD-10 is supposed to be that we have more specificity in how we report, better tracking that we're going to have. Part of the confusion that the AMA has just released was that right after we get into ICD-10, the next update is ICD-11, and so they are wanting to say, can't we just wait for 11? I don't know that that will happen, but we will once we get rolling on this. There will be continued updates on this. And again, it's to allow for expansion of diagnoses and as more things are found out. On slide 7, there is a greater number of codes, not only the number of codes that we're going to use on a claim form, but also the actual codes in the book. As you know, our ICD-9 only has so many digits, but our ICD-10 has a lot more. On slide 8, your ICD-9 has anywhere between 3 and 5, where ICD-10 has between 3 and 7. And in order to hold space so that they can add more diagnosis codes, some of our codes will have what they call a dummy placement. It's an X. And that X in the 6th character or the 5th character doesn't matter if it's a capital, a lowercase, or an uppercase. You can see on slide number 9 how much more diagnosis codes we will have in ICD-10. You can see that in ICD-9 we have under 20,000. In ICD-10 we will have close to 70,000 just in the diagnosis part. The other column is the procedures that inpatients use. When I went through and I looked at this one and I realized the great issue it's going to cause in musculoskeletal is related to slide number 10. And as you can see, 50% of those codes in ICD-10 are related to the musculoskeletal system. That's where we do our coding. 25% of those are related just to fracture. So that means we have 17,000 codes related to fractures. So you can see that they're getting more specified in what we need. 62% of those codes, we have to use a right and a left, like in a fracture situation. So our fractures are right and left codes. Out of all the ICD-10 codes, 36% of them are right and left. And we do have bilateral body parts that we deal with in musculoskeletal. So you can see just from the musculoskeletal system and the fracture, the majority of the coding system is going to be what we need to learn. And if we don't start now, we may not even be ready if we get an extra year. And so hopefully you have started now, because I personally feel it's not going to be a problem for your coders, your staff people, because if they don't know how to sign a diagnosis code now, that I don't know why they're still working there. If they know how to assign one, they're going to be able to use ICD-10. The problem is going to be with your providers. Your providers have got to start documenting better. And
Supercoder is the fastest growing online reference tool with more than 25,000 subscribers. Call 866-228-9252 to get a free product demo or sign up at supercoder.com for a 7-day free trial.